In the latest 2020 for transfer market valuation database, many familiar stars have shown a strange downward trend in their market values over the past 2 years. For instance, Manchester United's Antony was valued at €75 million 2 years ago. But now his value has dropped to just €20 million. Many players in European football are experiencing similar situations, and crucially, they are all in their prime. So today, let's discuss 10 players whose market values have plummeted in the last 2 years while they are still at their peak. 10th is Joshua Kimmich, whose value fell from €80 million to €50 million after joining Bayern Munich for €5 million in 2015. Kimmich quickly developed into a key player under coaches like Guardiola, Ancelotti, and Hanks under Flick. After Thiago's departure, Kimmich solidified his position and reached the peak of his career from 2020 to 2022. However, after Flick's departure and the team's aging roster, Kimmich's weaknesses became more pronounced, making him appear more average in the eyes of fans. At 29, his current valuation of €50 million may be his best comfort zone. 9th is Ansu Fati, whose value dropped from €60 million to €25 million from August 2019 to the end of 2020. These months may have been Fati's brightest. However, plagued by injuries over the past 4 years, he showed promise in the 21-22 season. Only 2 suffer a relapse that derailed his progress. Accepting his current, ordinary self, we hope injuries stay away from talented young stars like Fati. 8th is Leon Goretzka, whose value fell from €65 million to €30 million. During Flick's tenure, Goretzka was not severely affected by injuries. But after Flick's departure, he faced similar issues to Kimmich. Struggling with tactical adaptation and personal life, Goretzka's image shifted from a handsome tough guy to a more ordinary figure. Now, he has to choose: improve in training to regain trust, or continue to underperform until his contract ends. 7th is Raheem Sterling, whose value dropped from €70 million to €35 million since leaving Manchester City for Chelsea in the summer of 2022. Sterling's decline has been evident. He once peaked at €160 million during the 19-20 season, but his success largely stemmed from Guardiola's system. Now, after a 2-year drop, Sterling, currently on loan at Arsenal, faces further decline. 6th is Randal Kolo Muani, whose value fell from €80 million to €45 million following a strong performance for Frankfurt post-2022 World Cup. Muani's value soared to €80 million when PSG signed him for €95 million in the summer of 2023. However, his performances at PSG have not met expectations, and with Mbappe's departure, he hasn't been able to step up. 5th is Joao Felix, whose value dropped from €70 million to €30 million. Interestingly, despite many players disappointing us, Felix continues to inspire hope. Although his value remained high before the 20-23 season, it has since fallen sharply. Once a golden boy of Europe, fans still await his return to form, even if he is now valued at €30 million. 4th is Mason Mount, whose value fell from €75 million to €35 million before joining Manchester United. Mount was already sidelined by injuries, dropping to €60 million. However, after joining United, he faced significant injuries again, struggling to make an impact. Consequently, his value has plummeted, and at nearly 25, his future seems uncertain. 3rd is Jadon Sancho, whose value fell from €80 million to €30 million. Once upon a time, Jadon Sancho was one of the hottest prospects in European football during his time at Dortmund, as he approached 20 years old. His market value soared to €130 million. However, everything changed after he joined Manchester United. Now, it seems we are quickly approaching an answer as to whether Sancho's decline is due to his own shortcomings or the issues at United under Ten Hag. Nonetheless, it is somewhat exaggerated that a player who was once unstoppable at Dortmund has seen his value drop from €80 million 2 years ago to just €30 million today. Both Manchester United and Chelsea fans hope Sancho can find his form again and return as the unstoppable winger he once was. 2nd is Antony, whose value dropped from €75 million to €20 million. Why is Manchester United always plagued by injuries? Perhaps the key issue lies in the club's management at a higher level. In the summer of 2022, following Ten Hag's recommendation, Manchester United signed Antony from Ajax for a staggering €95 million. Fans who weren't closely following the Eredivisie may not have heard much about him at the time. But United did, indeed, pay €95 million for a player whose market value was only €35 million. When Antony's market value was updated in September of the same year, it was raised from €35 million to €75 million. No one expected that 2 years later, he would drop below that initial value to a low of €20 million. So, let's discuss, is Antony's plummeting value a case of a fallen talent, or simply a revelation of his true self? First is Romelu Lukaku, whose value fell from €85 million to €30 million after experiencing 4 consecutive seasons of transfers. Lukaku has now changed clubs 8 times in his career, with a total transfer fee second only to Neymar's. So, is Lukaku a true striker in his prime, or merely an illusion? His transfer value once reached €100 million in both 2018 and 2021. However, the failure of his second stint at Chelsea caused his market value to decline. By the end of the 21-22 season, it had dropped to €85 million. After stints on loan at Inter and Roma, Lukaku, who once had the chance to be labeled the world's best striker, has completely lost his competitiveness in European football. This summer transfer window, Lukaku became somewhat of a laughingstock, as he was deemed undesirable by his former club Inter, his current club Chelsea, and potential suitor Juventus. Alright everyone, that wraps up this video. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you all for watching and liking. See you next time. Bye bye.